Okay, can you see my screen with Axure now? I assume you can.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say that I would be creating some kind of web page, and in this web page there is some kind of, let's say, header element which repeats in many views, or maybe in all of them. So it might be so that here on top there is some kind of header element, and then maybe there is some text. Like so, and then maybe there are some menu items. For example, here this would be some kind of menu for the some kind of top menu, for example. Let's say we have 4 of these here, and then what is not the name of, okay, text field. Let's say that there is some kind of sign in field also here. Okay, for example, like this. This would be something which you are repeating, and then in this some kind of content area, then you have some content here. Okay, so this is your first page. Then you would have a second page here. Okay, so now one way how you can do this, that if this top part here, this header part, if this is repeating, you could go on and copy it and put it here like this. And then you could go on and make the second page, whatever it is. And then if you would have a third page, then you could go on and copy this header part to the third page as well here, and then you would have here the third page content, whatever it is. So doing it like this is of course possible. It is a little bit tedious because you have to copy it, and then if you decide that you want to modify the design of this repeating or reused header component, maybe you want to say that okay, maybe these menu items, maybe they should be here, and maybe this username and password, maybe it should be on top of each other. Maybe this one should be somehow like this. Maybe here. Maybe you want to do this kind of modification, for example. Okay, so now here you have the old one, here you have the old one. So now you would need to copy the changes again here, which becomes quite a lot of work fast. So this kind of situation is ideal for a master component. And a master component is a component which you are using over and over again. So what you can do is that you can select, for example, all these, then you right click, then here is this create master. Click here, then you can give some name. let's say the name is header. And now it becomes this kind of red. It indicates here in the editor that it is now a master component. And it becomes available here in the master tab view. Here is the header. Now what I can go and do, I can delete these old copied ones, and then I can drag and drop the master there. Like so. Now the same master component is used on every page. And if I want to edit the master component, I can go here and double click. Now you see it opened up here a new editor tab with the name header, which is the name of the component. So now I can go on and make the modifications, whatever I want, like so. And if I go here to these views which are using it, then the modification is visible there. So this is very useful. Very useful thing to do, or to have this master thing. Then another useful, more complex component is something known as a dynamic panel, which I'm, for example, going to put here. So a dynamic panel is available here when you right-click. Right below the Create Master, you have the Create Dynamic Panel. And what this dynamic panel is that basically it is a, you could say that it is a window of this this size, whatever size you give it to it. And that window or that component can be in different states. So there can be state 1, state 2, state 3, state 4, and so on. Or you can give whatever names you want to those states. And then you can have the component to display different state whenever you want and to change the state. So let's see, for example, how does it work? So if I have here, this would be now my dynamic panel. I go on and click here, create dynamic panel. Now it has been created. It looks like this blue. Now when I double click this one, now I'm editing the dynamic panel. I get into this kind of view. And here is the drop down, state 1. I can go on and edit state 2 or state 3 and so on. Then I can see what are the, how do the states look like. They are currently empty. Here I can delete and duplicate the state. So let's see. I could put here, for example, that I have some kind of design. I'm going to just put some elements here for demonstration purposes. This is now the state 1. Then this could be the state 2. Maybe now what we have is these circles. And then maybe here we have maybe like this. Okay, so we have now 3 states with 3 different content. What that content is up to you to decide then. Okay. Now I have done editing the states of this component. I can go now here and click close. If I am here in the preview, I am seeing the state 1. So as you can see here in the preview, it doesn't look like any other component. But I can add some interactions, some events which modify the state in the dynamic panel. I can, for example, let's do so that we have 3 buttons here. let's say that this is the state 1, this is state 2, and this is state 3. So the idea is that when I click on these state buttons, it will switch the content here. So this is my dynamic panel. For easier event targeting, I will give here a name. By targeting, I mean that if I would have multiple dynamic panels, it would be easier to target the events for the correct panel. So let's give this name my demo panel. Then here is my state 1 button. So the idea is that when I click here, state 1 becomes active. I go here on the interactions. I click new interaction. So when I want to click, then I want to set panel state here. And then I choose that which panel I want to target. It's this my demo panel. And then what should be the state be? It should be state 1. Okay. Then the state 2 button, same thing. Click, set panel state, my panel, and state 2. Then state 3 button, I click again, new interaction, click, set panel state, my demo panel, state 3. Okay. Now let's see how it looks like. So here it is. I click here, and so now it changes the panel state, and it's visible here. We can also do so that it looks a little bit nicer. So if I modify here, so here are these animation controls, animate in and animate out. So these animation controls say that what kind of animation should be executed when the state changes, for the incoming state and for the outgoing state. And these are different kinds of animation styles. So I could, for example, say that, okay, when animate in from slide right, and what is the animation style? Let's say ease in out cubic. This is called what is the animation easing graph. So how is the animation calculated? Because now what this has is that it has basically, it's going to calculate an animation sequence for us. And the sequence is a state change. So basically there is, we have two coordinate state information available, the current state and then the desired end state. And these values then here, swing, linear, ease in, and so on. These now give the algorithm that how the transition animation should be calculated between these two states. Okay, ease in, ease out cubic. Then here I can say that what is the duration of the animation. Any user interface animation should be played out in less than 250 milliseconds. If you have a slower animation, then it becomes too slow. The user will feel that now this is playing out pretty slowly. So I'm going to say 200 milliseconds here. Okay, then I'm going to do the same. Oops, I forgot here. Okay, animate out. This will be slide left. I'll put them opposite. Let's do the same thing here for this state 2. So slide right, slide left, and then 200 is in out cubic. Let's see how it looks like. Okay. Did it go correct? How I expected it to do. Yeah, so now it makes an animation change like this. I don't know how well this displays out in the Zoom, but this is quite smooth here in my screen. So now the state change is done with an animation. So this is one thing how you can use a dynamic panel. Let's see then an example of something that you maybe would like to implement sometime with the dynamic panel. I'm going to do it here for the page 2. Probably you have seen this kind of image carousel somewhere in web pages. Let's see if I can find an example. I think they have here. Okay, here. I will show it. Okay, here in this Amazon. So this is basically an image carousel. So you see they have a box of here, and then when you click these arrows, it is scrolling and you can go back and forth. And then as you can see, it starts to repeat. Here is then this Black Friday deals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are six views. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it starts over. So this is an image carousel. So if you'd like to do that one kind of thing here in the Axure, that's of course possible. What we need to do is that we need to create an area for it, and this will be our dynamic panel. Next thing is to create the dynamic panel and do the states. So I right-click, create dynamic panel, and then I go on and edit the panel by double-click. And here we are. Now, let's say that here is my image. This is just an image placeholder. This is for the state 1. Then in the Amazon, they had 6 of these states, 6 images. But I'm not going to do 6. I'm going to do 3, so it's visible how it works. Add state. State 2 is just fine. Okay, let's delete, and I'm going to use the duplicate. I can have the same size here. Okay, I'm going to use this kind of placeholder symbol so that it's visible when it changes. Okay. State 2, let's delete the image from there. And then duplicate for the state 3. And maybe it will be this kind of gray box. Okay, now I have the 3 states. State 1, state 2, state 3. Close. Next thing, if I would like to have those arrows, I have here these icons, angle left. Right. I'm going to keep them here for now. Now, on the left arrow, new interaction, click, set panel state. Okay, I didn't give a name for my panel, but here it is. And then what I want to do is that I want to set, I could set one of these, but then if I want to do it so that I can click and go left, 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 then using these is not very useful. I can have previews. And then if I want to make it so that it goes round and round and round, I activate this one. And then if I want to animate, I'm going to choose here that now when I go left, it should, okay, what is now the animation direction? Yeah, the incoming should slide from the right. Animate in, slide right. Animate out, yeah, that should also slide right. And then ease in, out. Okay. Now I'm going to go and do the same thing for the right arrow. Here, new interaction, click, and then set panel state, choose my panel, and then I'm going to set the next. So it will go from state 1 to state 2, from state 2 to state 3. And this one will be slide left now. Okay, let's try it. And it works. So this is one way how you can do. How you could do use these dynamic panels, for example. Another example would be, let's see, can I show it from here from the Amazon? Where can I search for products? Do they have a product category? Okay, this would also be possible to do with the dynamic panel. I would have a panel here, then click here, it would go to whatever state, and then it would show these. But what I'm looking for is that, okay, for example, here is a Finnish used car sales application where anybody can list their cars. So do they have an English version here? Yeah. Okay, so this kind of situation is something what you maybe sometime encounter. If you have these drop downs and you would like to model that one, for example, in your Axure application, you can do it with dynamic panels. So for example, here, the car make, if I choose Audi, and then I get Audi models here on this drop down. If I choose BMW, now the models are from BMW numbers. This is also something that you can do with the dynamic panels. And how it works is that you basically have a different state for showing this drop down. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna go to page 1 and do it here. So yeah, the dynamic panel is also available here as a component, so you don't have to right-click and create it always. So if I would have here, here is the state 1, and then I would have the drop down, drop list. And then so this is now the car make. And then here would be the model, which is now depending on the make. Okay, so here I could now list that, make the list options. Here is, for example, the Audi, then BMW, and then let's say Nissan. So So this works now, but it doesn't change this one yet. So now the idea is that this one would be here with a dynamic panel. So the idea is that this is now different based on the selection. Let's see. Can I do this? Selected drop list is set to its selected state. And then okay, how did I do now select that? What is the this interaction list does not look like the like it used to look. Maybe they have changed it in an update. Let's see. Set panel state, but then okay, maybe I should have confirmed how this works before trying to show it to you. Yeah, I need to actually check that what is the correct way of doing this. There should be an option that to match the selection from the drop-down list to a state name. But for some reason, I cannot find it now how to do it. So select and changed, and then it should be able to set a panel state. This panel, but then what would be the state value? Okay, it should be done here. Okay, I will show this after the break. This has changed the user interface since I last tried to do this, so I can't now show it. I will show it after the break once I check the updated way of doing it. But this is anyway the idea that you could read the value from this drop down, and then you would have multiples of these states. So basically, in this state would be so here this state would be set to value Audi, and then we would set here this would be value BMW, and then you would have here the Nissan. So the idea would be so that when the user chooses here BMW, then the state of this panel is set to this BMW, and then here we have then the BMW model numbers like 320, 325, 330, and so on. And they are available here in this BMW. When you go to the Audi, then in the Audi situation, there are here is then the, let's see, A3, A4, A5. And then for the Nissan, there would be I don't know, what are the Nissan models? Qashqai and Primera at least. So that would be the idea that when you modify this one, the value of the drop-down is matched for the state. But I need to check that now, that what is the details on how to do that. It has changed in some update of this Axure. Okay. Then let's see what is the task for today. For the rest of the course, the graded exercise. It is here, and it looks like this. I will put this to Moodle. Moodle, so you can read it. So you can get maximum of 20 points from this exercise, and you should work in groups of 2 to 3 persons. Preferably not as a solo work, but in groups. And the task is to design and implement 3 views of an e-commerce shop. And you should do these for the prototype level. And you can assume that a desktop browser use. So you can assume that the minimum display width would be this one. And in your design, you should have the following views: product list, product detail view, and then shopping cart. So 3 important views in an e-commerce application. So here are some examples. This is a sport, an outdoor equipment shop called XXL. So this is an example of a product list view. So here they have the category selected as this is now men's jackets. And then they are displaying different kind of jackets for the men's. I can choose one of these, for example, this one. And now I'm seeing the product detail view. And the XXL version looks like this. Okay, here is their menus. And then if I want to purchase this jacket, I can choose here what is the size. They quite helpfully indicate that which one is out of stock. Only size M is available. Here they have some kind of size guide, very useful. Then I can click here to purchase it. And here then I can get to the shopping cart. And here is now the shopping cart view. It shows what is in my cart, and then they are apparently showing some more ads here that would you like to purchase these as well. If I go to the gloves, I choose. Now I see 2 items in my cart, and then I have this total information here, 104 euros, and then I could go to and check this out. So these kind of 3 views for an e-commerce shop, you would now need to design and implement. So the idea is not to copy this design or any other e-commerce design. The idea is to design your own. If you don't try to design your own, instead if you go to the copying route, then you will lose the opportunity to practice user interface design. And then it is literally your loss. So the idea is to practice to do the design, and then when you have done the design with Axure, then you should implement it manually with HTML and CSS. So you should write your own HTML and CSS implementation, which looks exactly like your Axure design look like. So for example, if this would have been my design, then I would open up my favorite code editor and start to write HTML and CSS which look like this. And the idea here is that you must go with handwritten HTML and CSS. You are not allowed to use any HTML generators or HTML export from this Axure. It is visible if you do the HTML export from Axure, and then if you do that, that will result in 0 points for you. So that is something what you should be aware. So you must implement them manually by yourself, and preferably work in groups of 2 to 3 persons. Okay, so in addition to this one, everybody will do peer review of 4 other works after the implementation deadline. So there are 2 deadlines, the implementation deadline and then the review deadline. More on these later on. So what you must deliver then? You must have a user interface design made with Axure, available with a public link in Axure Cloud. How to do that, we will see soon, today. And we will also see today how you can work in a team with Axure. Then the second deliverable is then the implementation with HTML and CSS. And then third thing is a portal page, which is hosted together with this one in Amazon Web Services server, AWS servers. And in this portal page, you have a link to your own implementation and a link to this one. So that is so that then when you return your work, you will return only this link to our Moodle return workshop. And then when we have this link, everybody can access this and this. And then you must do the peer reviews. So these 4 things must be delivered to pass the course. This AWS thing we have not yet covered at all, but we will do it in this week, December 9th. That is on Wednesday. That is the day when we are going to be seeing how you can deploy your website to Amazon Web Services. And for that to be possible, you will need to have an account to the AWS. And we will also see today how you can get a free account for that. And that is something what you must start the account process today. Because if you start the account process here on Wednesday 9th, the implementation deadline is here on the Friday 11th. So if you start the account application process here on 9th, it might be so that you don't get the accounts in time before Friday 11th. So you must start the AWS account process earlier than the implementation deadline. For example, today. Okay, so how to return this then? You return it by providing a link to this delivery item 3, which is now the portal page, which has the links to these items 2 and 1. And in our Moodle course page, there will be a workshop item, which is named Final Exercise. And this workshop tool is now an automated tool, which I will program with these dates, with these deadline dates. And when the deadline is now Friday 11th at 18:00 Finnish time, the workshop tool will automatically switch to the review phase, and it will then randomly assign the reviews between all the students who have returned something. And this is the reason why this deadline is indeed the deadline. If you return your work later than this, the workshop will not accept it anymore, and then you will not be able to do the peer reviews. So you must do your work before this and return it to the Moodle workshop. The workshop with this final exercise does not yet exist in Moodle. I will create it later, this week or the next week. And now, because this is now a group exercise and everybody must do the peer reviews, the peer reviews are not done in a group, but individually. And for this reason, all members of a group must submit their work to the workshop. So it is not enough that if one person in a group, in a 3-person group, submits their work, but all persons must submit their work to the workshop.
One question.
Yeah.
When you say that all members have to submit their work, the work can be the same, but
Yes.
all of us, we have to submit it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Their work. Okay, maybe just make it like this. Maybe it's more clear now. So this is critical that all members must submit. Every time when we do this, there is some confusion for some reason, even though I try to emphasize this a lot. So is it now clear to everybody who is now listening that if you work in a group, you must still return your group's work individually to the workshop. So all members of the group must return the same work of your group to the workshop. It is not enough that if one person in the group makes the return. So I hope this is clear now. And since we are using this workshop tool in the Moodle to help us distribute the peer review thing, the peer reviews, who is reviewing what, it does not support this kind of group mode. And this is the reason why we must do it individually. And there is a small chance that you will get assigned to review your own work from the work of another person in your group. So there is a small chance for that. In that situation, you can either skip that review or you can make a review of your own work. That is also possible. And the review criteria will be there in the Moodle workshop. So as it's written here, the maximum points is 20 points. So for every peer review what you do, you must give your opinion that how many points this work is worth. And the deadline is indeed Friday, December 11th at 1800 hours. And then the peer reviews must be completed before Tuesday, December 15th by 12 o'clock. So you have here, this Friday is the deadline, 11th, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and almost 4 days to do the peer reviews. So I think it should be plenty if you have 4 works. I will need to review something like 30 of your works in a week. So you can do 4 works in 4 days. That's for sure. Okay, any questions about this for now? What should be done? This is not yet in the Moodle. I will put the link here to the Zoom chat. So you can access this now immediately. And then we will have the break. Where is the chat? Here. Okay, now the link to this exercise instruction is in the chat. I will put the Moodle later on. So we will have the a break Then after that, we will see a couple of tools how you can work remotely together on this user interface design aspect. And then how you can use Axure in a teamwork, and then how you can publish your Axure design in a publicly available URL, which was one of the requirements. And then you can start working. So now during the break or after the break is a good moment to start thinking about the groups. Or what is your preference? Do you want to split the groups or decide the groups yourself, or shall I do it? Either way is fine for me. Do you have any preference?
I think that I should choose my group.
Yeah, I'd much rather decide, to be honest.
Sorry, I didn't get what was that I do the decide. I decided.
We decide, like we.
You decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any other opinions? 2 people are now wanting to decide themselves. Is it the same for everybody?
Yes, some of us already have the group ready.
Okay. Okay, you can decide. If you don't have a group, you are alone, and you would like to get a group, then please contact me. I will then assign you into some group. And if you get an email from me that now this person is assigned to your group, then that is what you must accept. There is no discussion about it. Okay, let's have a break now of about 25 minutes. So we will continue at 9:25 with the tools on how you could start with the teamwork. So break, continue at 9:25. All right, I will stop the share, pause the share and stop the recording for a while.
Is the teacher back? You might be muted.
Okay, I was muted. Okay, let's continue. So now when we think about the time table or the schedule for this exercise, we are now here on 25th of November, and your deadline is here on the 11th. I would very much recommend you to start with the user interface design part immediately and have it completed by next week, Wednesday. So December the 2nd. That way you would still have 1.5 week time to do the HTML implementation. That is the schedule what I recommend you to do. And what we'll do is that you will have time today to get started on the exercise, and tomorrow we will have lectures. And tomorrow everybody should be present, and we will use the time tomorrow on advancing the exercise. And the reason why everybody should be present tomorrow is that way I can discuss with all the groups that what is your plan like, and then give some comments on your ideas for the user interface design. So the idea here is that you will learn during the exercise, because we have not yet had time to do any user interface design exercises. So the idea is that this is the exercise which gives you the opportunity to learn, and I will be able to comment and give you some input to help you on doing a good UI design. So that is the reason why we will use the lecture tomorrow for this, and also next week we will do this kind of guided work lessons. Okay, so as I mentioned in or mentioned in the user interface design lessons, so you should start from creating this kind of very rough wireframe or sketches, and ideally pen and paper is the best. Pen and paper work very well when you are when you are working either alone or in the same same space with everybody. But if you are working remotely, then pen and paper is not very good because it's difficult to collaborate with pen and paper, and it's difficult to show the pen and paper designs to everybody. It's possible, of course, but it's much more complicated than with a normal situation where you can be present. One solution to help you there is this kind of tool called draw.chat. This allows you to draw in a kind of collaborative way quite nicely. So when you click here, start new whiteboard, and then here you can invite people. Here you can have the instructions. So they are the tool instructions, and then so you use this generated URL which you can share with other people. So here is now this URL. We can try this. I will put this URL here into the Zoom link, Zoom chat, and it should allow, I don't know how many people can draw here, but you can draw with multiple people here. So I think this is a pretty good way on starting the collaboration with a group. So it gives you a tool which you can use to quickly sketch out some ideas when you are having voice communication. So this is the URL is the draw.chat. This is a pretty good one. Of course, you can use some other tools as well, but this is a pretty good tool. So that is what you can use for phase one for collaboration. Then for the next phase, when you start to collaborate with Axure. So the Axure has team functionality, and it is called team project. Let's see, can we find the documentation? Having the documentation is a very good idea. Have it open when you are working with this. Here, in any case, this is a very good documentation source for Axure. If you have any problems or you want to learn something, here are good content. For example, for the repeater component, which we mentioned earlier, is here. But here is the team projects. So the team project, how this works in Axure is that, as it says, that you can simultaneously co-author, so work together on a single Axure project, and a central copy is stored in Axure Cloud. And then each teammate make their edits to an individual local copy. So it means that you will have the Axure project stored in the Axure Cloud, and then you will have a local copy of that one on your computer. To use this, you must have an Axure Cloud account. I do not now recall that do you have to separately create the Axure Cloud account, or do you create it once when you are using the free education license? But if you have to create the Axure Cloud account separately, then you must use the same email address what you are using with your Axure application identifier. If you put here some other email, then the system will not be working. So for example, for me, I have here the license is for this email.
At least here it worked, the email that we used to download. So it automatically created the account.
Okay, so that is then good. So when you start to work with a team project, you must first decide that which person in the team will create the project, because this is created only once per single person. So if you have a 3-person team, person A, person B, and person C, the person A, now let's assume that he is the one who creates the team project. And how do you create the team project? You do it so that you go here to this team menu, and you then use this option, create team project from current file. So if this would be my file, okay, let's create them completely empty. So no save. I will then save this one. This is now totally empty. Totally empty project. I will create here a folder. Okay, now here is my empty project. I will now use this one, create team project from current file. And this is now the operation which only one person in a team does. I go here, it gives me this kind of view. And by default, it says create an Axure Cloud, and that is the correct one. Then team project name, you can give some name. And then some workspace. So now when we have only a single UI project, then this one can be for example, the same as the project name or something else. Okay, so now I go on and click this one, click create team project. It processes for a while, and now it says that team project was created successfully. Save your local copy, which you will use to edit the team project on this computer. So this is how the team project works. There is a copy in the cloud, and then there is a local copy. And because there is a local copy, you must save the team project file. That is the one what you will be using to edit. So it is a little bit the same idea as, for example, if you are familiar with Git version control, then there you can have the cloud repository, the remote repository, and then you can have a local copy. And in fact, the analogy is even greater than that, because in the Git, when you have a local repository and a remote repository, the changes what you make in the local repository, they do not show in the remote repository before you push them into the remote. It's the same here. Okay, but now when I saved my local copy of the team project, it is now here, is saved locally and can be opened for editing. Now I could start here and modifying it. But if I have a team, I would first like to invite some users to join my project. And now I could write here an email address of an Axure user. And this now should be an email address for a user which has an Axure Cloud up and running. So please don't use any Gmail or Hotmail or some other your so-called civilian emails, but use the school email what you use to register your education license. So now I could write here some email address there and then invite, and that person will get a message to their email with instructions on how to join the project. Then when he accepts that he has joined, then they can start working. Okay, here I am back in my Axure. I have now sent the invite. I am now operating as the person A in my 3-person team, which were persons A, B, and C. So I am now the person A, and I have sent now invitations to my teammates. Now I can start working here. Open team project file. Now I am working in our team project. Now if I try to start to make some modifications, I would like to have here something. I noticed that, yeah, I cannot actually make any modifications. And here I can see this dialog popping out, check out. Click to check out and make changes. So this is an important concept in these team projects, that when you want to make some modifications in a team project, you must check out those pages which you want to modify. And when you have a page checked out for modifications, other persons cannot modify that page at the same time. So that means that the process goes as follows: as that when you want to make a modification, you check out a page, you make the modification, and then you check the page in. Thus you release your, your lock to that page. And when you check your page in, the modifications what you made will be available in the Axure cloud for the other members. So it's very important that you remember to release your lock on the pages by checking in your modifications. Because, for example, if you have a 3-person team and you are working on a project, then one person is doing something. He has checked out multiple pages. Then he goes to a vacation for a weekend or week vacation, for example. And he forgets to check in the pages what he was working on. That means that the other team members are unable to edit those pages for the whole duration as that this person is on a vacation who has checked the pages out. Okay, so if I want to make a modification, I need to check out. I can do it either here or by right-clicking here. There is the checkout. You can see here a symbol, blue diamond symbol when it is not checked out, green circle with this OK mark when it's checked out. Now I can make a modification here. I make some edits. Okay. I am finished. Now I right-click and put check in. Then it says that what you have been making, you can make some notes here. These are notes for yourself and your teammates. Added something. You can fill this with some meaningful text, depending on how your team works. Then I click OK. And now these modifications are available for other team members. And since the page is now, I do not have this checked out, I cannot modify it. Okay, does everybody now have a team ready? Because the next thing is to practice this team project feature to solve any problems what you might encounter with it. So does everybody have a team now? Joni Kuukasjärvi is saying that, and Francisco Correio is saying that they have a team. Well, Joni and Francisco and Elias, you can be one team. Okay? Joni, Francisco, Elias, you are one team. Puriti Turunen is without a team. Is there any other people without a team? Okay, if not, then Joni, Francisco, Elias, and Puriti, you are a 4-person team then. So now let's use Joni, Francisco, Elias, and Puriti as an example team. Joni, can you share your screen? Let's walk through the team project process.
Yes, I can share it just in a bit. Hold on. Do I need a web browser version of the Axure, or do I need the downloaded version? Because I have the downloaded version, but I don't have the. I don't know if it has the team edition. Oh, it has it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
New file.
Okay. If you share your screen, so we will see how it goes.
Share screen.
From your perspective.
Okay.
So you will be inviting Francisco, Elias, and Puriti to your team project.
Oh, can share screen while other participant is sharing?
Aha. Okay. I will
not
stop
share
my share.
yet. And share. Now you should be seeing my Azure editor.
Yes. Okay.
So,
now go to the team menu.
Team menu there.
At the top. Yeah. And then use the create team project. And now
workspace, new workspace.
Yeah. Now it's just that sign in. On the top right on the Axure window, you can see that you have not signed in because there is the sign in button.
Do I need to create an account with? I haven't created the account yet for the.
I think your account, the one that you use to download, it works the same way.
Oh, are you telling me that a school email already works even though I haven't created an account there?
So how did you download the software?
I just downloaded it without giving it email.
Ah, okay.
So I think it doesn't work yet.
Have you requested the free education license?
No, I just went to their website and downloaded this.
Ah, yeah, it's true. You can see there up on it. It says that you are unlicensed still.
Okay, so
okay. On the tag up there.
So
okay, so you would need to then
Francisco then so his screen if he has.
Yeah, we can try this. In any case, you will need to have an account. So let's see, can you do this with the free trial version? I'm not sure. So create an account. Now it should be your OAMC account. Yeah, some password.
Create. Save that. Open. And now it's creating.
Okay, yeah, you are able to do it with free trial also. That's good. Okay, yeah, now save the team project file. Okay, you need to save it somewhere. And now invite users. Now you would need to know the emails of your team members. Could you
let's see if I have
put it to the chat,
classmates of mine in Discord. Yeah.
Let's make it so that Francisco, Elias, and Puriti, if you put your emails to the Zoom chat, your school emails, so Joni can copy them from there.
Francisco, I got your email, but we were told to use the school email. Are you sure that you want to use this one?
Yeah, because I didn't know that when I was doing the registering for the software to get the version. I use my personal email, but I don't think it's a problem. I didn't know about it. I didn't know we should use the student one.
Invite users. Invite in Francisco.
Yeah. Then you need to make a new invite.
Zoom. Let's see if I have the Zoom chat somewhere. Why cannot I see the Zoom chat anywhere?
You need to click on the green Zoom bar and then go to the more, and then there is the chat, I think. It vanishes.
It doesn't want to show it.
Huh.
Oh no. I guess I need to stop sharing for a second in order to make sure that
Okay.
I get other emails as well.
Puriti Turunen, can you give your email to Joni?
Invite others. Oh yeah, right. I guess I can now share it back here and show where the sharing screen too. So now I have invited Francisco, and it says here the activity what happened.
Yeah. Did you invite Elias as well?
Inviting right now.
Okay.
And as
invite,
soon as Elias
invite Puriti later on then.
Yeah, I will do that. But as soon as Elias joins, it should show it here. And now I would like to see if Francisco is able to edit this somehow. Would you do something to the website?
Let's make it so that if you make an edit, and then Francisco will make an edit after that.
Can I do? How do I do it with this?
With the Axure, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
now
okay.
click on the blue one, open team project file. Yeah. So the web browser, you cannot use it for editing.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you are. Now you can add some elements.
Let's add a box here.
But you cannot do it because you must check out your file first. This is now locked because you have not marked that you want to edit it. So
Where is it?
you are now renaming the page. So click outside and then right click on the page. And then you have the checkout option there. And now you are checking out. So now this is marked for you to be editing, and no one in your team could edit it in the same time. Now you can add some elements there.
I've added the first element. How do I now exit this?
You put the
send changes.
No, the send changes is so that if you are working on something and you want to send sort of preview to other people to see, but not yet finish your edits, then the send changes is the one what you can use. But when you have finished your modifications, then you use the check in. So right click there and check in.
Okay.
So now you are sending your changes and you are releasing your modification rights, your lock. The checkout
I would like to now see if other participants could also edit this somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Am I able to see the activity from here as well?
No,
I guess I'm not.
No, you cannot see it. Okay, Francisco.
Okay, I'll wait for someone to change something here.
Yeah, Francisco, can you share your screen? So let's see how it looks like from your viewpoint.
Stopping sharing right now.
Right.
Francisco could be share right now.
All right, can
Okay.
you see?
Yes, so now you must be in the Axure.
Yep.
In the Axure application, not in the web browser, but in the application.
Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Oh, I can see only the web browser at the moment. So you must open the Axure application. Okay, yeah, now it's visible. All right, so now you must go to the team project view on the team menu. And now since you are a member, you did not create it. So you must use the get and open, that one. Yeah, and there. If
this group work?
Yeah, that is the one which Joni created. And now you are retrieving it. So now it's saving, getting you the local copy, and you must save it. And now you must remember where you saved this because it is your local copy. Okay.
All right.
Now you can open it. And yeah, double click as it says. So now you can see this. This is what Joni made.
Okay.
So now if you would like to modify this, you cannot edit because you have not checked out. So you must go to the page and right click, check out. And now when when you
That's
have this
the
checked
thing, yeah.
out, Joni should now see that Joni cannot make a checkout at the same time. You can try it, Joni.
Yes, I'm trying it and check out. Currently checking out and unable to check out.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's with
Says for me,
Francisco.
the following page or masters are already checked out. You can edit these files without checkout.
So
but
then
you will not-
if I check in, then my things will be saved.
Yes, now if you could use the check-in,
Okay.
now you need to,
Those like
you can write some notes if you want. What did you modify? And then click OK.
And I also sent the invites to Elias and Puriti right now.
Okay, now
But they
Francisco has
don't
made
know
some modifications. So Joni, can you share your screen so we'll see how you can get access to these modifications?
Okay. Right now I am in the Azure application. Let's go back to the cloud.
No, keep the in the cloud. You can see there is the black box which Francisco added. Go back to your Axure application because that's where you need to do the editing. So here you can see that you do not see yet the black box what Francisco added, and that is because you are always seeing only the things what you have in your local copy. So your local copy does not automatically update. You can go to the theme menu, for example, and then there are get all changes from theme directory. That is one option, or you could do it by page, but use that get all. So now it is getting the changes, and now you can see that is what Francisco made. And now you could modify it
with the checkout and then modify. Right.
Yeah.
Checkout.
Yeah, you can, for example, try also to add a new page.
So does this mean that we could not do things simultaneously?
Yes, so you cannot add simultaneously the same page. So you can
So
only.
you can all work on separate pages, for
Yes.
instance. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, you can. It's possible to do this kind of pair or teamwork also, so that you have screen sharing and one person is editing and other persons are commenting. So you are discussing on the fly. But it's not possible to do it the same way like we did with the draw.chat application. Very well able to draw at the same time on the same page.
Now it should be sent back to the cloud, right?
Yeah, and now Francisco, to get these changes, you must use the get changes functionality.
Could Francisco show his screen as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. I just pressed get changes and then it showed up here.
Okay.
But yeah, I did it already. But okay.
Yeah, so this is how it works. So when you are working on a theme,
it was here get changes.
Yeah.
And then your new page showed up.
Yeah. So when you're working on a theme, you should minimize the checkouts so that you only check out what you are working on, so that you are not bothering other people. Okay. So that's how it works. So everybody should try it out in their team and ask now if you have some problems. So it's important that you can try out the check out, edit, check in cycle at least a couple of times to get the feeling how you can work together. Okay, and then one more thing, because you are also required to share your work when you are complete. So I will show here by sharing a screen. So when you are working on a team project and you want to share your work with a public URL, so that means that that anybody with the link could view your work, but of course not to modify it. So here is the share optionality. By default, it looks something like this. Okay, I have already here made the link. So to get the link, what you can do is to go to your Axure Cloud page, to your workspace, and then when you have your project here, okay, sorry, you need to click on the project, and then you have here, when you are viewing the project here in the Axure Cloud, here is the Share Project button, which gives you this kind of view. And when you do not have okay, let's see. I already did that. So by default, when you come here, it looks like this. Share links. To share publicly, enable share link. And this is what you must do when you return your work. So you must click here, enable, and then here is now your public link. So you can then copy this one and share it with other people. And you can verify that it works if you open an incognito view in your browser, meaning that none of your sessions are active. You can try the link and it should work. And here it is. So this is the idea that how you can share your work. Now I could share this link with anybody and get some feedback, for example, or show that this is the way how it should work, the user interface. So to share your work, you must have it as a public link. If you share a member link, then no one outside your team can view your design. And that, of course, is not what we want, because we need to do the peer reviews. You need to be able to share your design work also. So you must have the public link, which you can enable here. If you want to disable it, then you can go again here and make link private. Then it's like this. And this dialog is accessed here in the cloud when you have your project. Here is the share project. And here, share publicly, enable, yes. And then it's publicly available. So this is what you must do for you to be able to share your delivery item number 1, which is this UI design. So it says a publicly available link for your project in Axure Cloud. So you must enable the public link in the team project. By default, it is only private with your team members. Okay, let's have a 15-minute break now. So it's 10:04, so we continue at 10:20. Okay, let's continue then. Okay, so we have covered the Axure Cloud, how to use the group work assignment. Then there was the draw chat thing. Yeah, and then about the drop-down thing, which I was trying to show you, but did not quite work out. Yeah, I checked it out during the break. So, okay, let's see how it should actually work. The widget organization was a little bit incorrect in my original example, so that's the reason why the selections were not quite there. Okay, so these are now my two drop downs.
We cannot see the screen.
You cannot see the screen. Okay, yeah. Okay, now you should be able to see it. So here are the two drop downs with the car make and model. I will put the labels here. So this is the car make. This is then the model. I will put here the drop down list name to model. Okay, so now the idea would be that here, this is the primary drop down which controls this drop down. So I have here, for example, now the Audi and BMW. And I would like so that it shows here Audi models and then BMW models based on whatever is chosen here. So I will modify this drop down to be now a dynamic panel. Yeah, previously I had all this inside a dynamic panel, so that was the incorrect thing. So I'm going to put several states to this this panel, this drop down. Here I will first name this one, that the first one is now the Audi state. So the idea is that when Audi make is selected, then this state will be active, and then we show drop down or this drop list with the Audi models. And then I will have here another state for the BMW, like so. Now let's set, this is now the panel is now in the Audi state. So I will now edit here and put Audi models here, like so. Then I will switch to BMW state and put some BMW models here. For example, like this. And then I can close. Okay. Now I'm going to give a name for this dynamic panel. So model panel. And now the idea is that because I want to change the state of this drop down based on here, on the value here. So I will need to make the interaction event to this drop down. So new interaction. And then here should be selection changed. And then what should happen is that I set a panel state of the model panel. And now I can set that what should be the state. I could set it here directly, that the state should be Audi, BMW, next, previous. Or I can set it to be a value. This is what we must choose. Name or state number. I will delete this one. And then I will click here, this small fx. This allows like this small scripting to be happen, which is possible in Axure. I click here and then I should be able to was it this? No. Well, what is now incorrect? Why doesn't it show now the correct one? Selection change, set panel state, target model panel set. Yeah, this simple example is too complex after all. why doesn't it now show the correct? It should be showing this.text, but okay, let's see if I write it. Does it correct? Does it work? It should have offered it in the drop down. Let's see. Is it working? Okay, yeah. I don't know why it doesn't show it in the drop down. It was supposed to show it, but now it's the idea is that we are reading the text value of the drop down and setting the panel state to match that text value. So since now the panel state name must match the text here, of course, for this to work. So when we choose here BMW, it switches this panel to state BMW, and then we have here these. So this is the logic how you could use the dynamic panel also for these kind of purposes. But this is like dealing with these dynamic panels and this kind of stuff is more this kind of, or it's exactly it's Axure specific techniques. So so the matter of how much you want to learn these kind of things, it depends on that how much you want to use the application in the future. All applications have their own special features on how to achieve something. So this technique is not transferable to some other application, of course. So this is only Axure specific. But that's one example of what you can use this dynamic panel in Axure for. Okay, then the remaining thing what I had in my mind for today was so that you would create your accounts for this AWS Educate. So the Amazon Web Services is it's the largest cloud computing platform in the world, and all these services, what they have, these products. As you can see, there is a huge amount of different products here. All of those, they have different pricing. So they are paid products. You have to pay to use them, and to pay, a credit card is used. So for students who might not have credit cards, it's not maybe the best way to learn. So luckily in Amazon there is this kind of education mode which allows you to play with Amazon without having a credit card, and it is through this AWS Educate program. So how this works is that when you sign up for this AWS Educate, then you will get an Amazon account, and for that account you will get a yearly amount of credits. So by credits it means this kind of virtual money. I think it was was it $100 or something, what you get on a yearly basis. And then with those credits, those virtual dollars, you can then use those for to run and play around with these products in the Amazon cloud. And in my courses, I use this AWS quite a lot, and I think there are also some other teachers who use this. So for this, it is important to realize that it is you who must manage your AWS credits. You get this certain amount of credits per year. I don't remember exactly. I think it was $100. And it is your task to make sure that you have enough credits to run services in different courses. If you have spent all your credits and then you come to my course and I say that now you must run this service in AWS, then basically you must then use your own credit card to open up the services, or then alternatively try to find some other similar cloud service which is usable for free. And the key thing on how you can manage your credits in AWS is so that you do not leave your services running after you do not need them anymore. You pay for all these services basically based on time, on execution time. So, and then of course the execution capacity. So it is not a very good idea to reserve large computing capacity just for labs if you don't need it, because it will eat your credits up very fast. In the same way, when you have some exercise to do, and when the exercise is finished, it is very good idea to clean up your running services and to stop them so that you don't leave them running infinitely, because again, they will eat your credits. And this is pretty easy to understand if you think about that. If it would be your own money, actually, you would not, if you need to pay, let's say, $5,000 on a month on running some virtual computer, if you don't plan to using it, probably you will not then open it and spend $5,000 just for labs. Or if it would be your own money, which you need to pay, probably you won't leave these services open if you know that, okay, now I'm gonna need to pay again $20 this month, $20 next month, $20 month after that for a service which I'm not using. So it's the same for these education credits. It is your computing capacity, and it is you who must manage it. I cannot manage it for you, and neither can any other teacher. If you run out of credits, then I cannot get you more credits. So join. Then you go student to this form. Then make sure you put here our school, Oulu University of Applied Sciences. That way you will get a little bit extra money. We are this kind of institute member in this AWS Educate program. Then you fill out your other information, and here you must use your school email, not your civilian email. And then you proceed through the application. There is two kinds of accounts when you create this AWS Educate. And I'm not sure if it's an option for you as a student. It says here that educators have at least this capability, but I'm not sure that do you get the option. But if you get an option to choose that what kind of account type you should choose, I recommend you choose this Educate Starter type of account. This is the account type when you do not need to use a credit card of your own. So try to remember choose this one if it gives you an option to choose an account type. If it doesn't give you any option, then it will automatically do this. So you should do this Educate sign up process so that you have it ready to go by December 9th. December 9th on Wednesday, we will have a lesson to see how we can use the AWS services to host a web server for our web pages so that they're available in the public internet by anyone. So by this December 9th, you must have the AWS Educate account ready to go. That is one of your homeworks now. Do you have any questions about this AWS part so far? Okay, I guess not. Yeah. So then we still have some time today on our lessons. I suggest that we use that time on you to start working on the homework, the graded exercise in your teams. We can create these breakout rooms here in Zoom. And then you can discuss it with your team members. For that to work, please write your team names here to the chat. So list all the members of your team and separate them by commas, so that then I will create these breakout rooms for your team. And then you can start working on it. And I will make rounds throughout all the breakout rooms, so we can then discuss about your work. And if you have any questions, we can also discuss about that. Okay, there is a question in the chat that can you give some details on the peer review? So instructions on what to do for the peer review will be given in the Moodle workshop when I create it. So probably it will be ready for next week. But the idea in the peer review is that you review the HTML and CSS implementations of other persons, and then you give your opinion of that. So you must inspect the code of the implementation, see how the end results look like, and then give your opinion on it. And also you will need to think about a little bit also about the user interface design, that how does it look like from that point of view. But the instructions will be there then in the Moodle for the peer review.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
I'm on the registration page of the cloud service, and it wants a graduation month and graduation year, but it says that we can also use the day for a specific program. Do we use the graduation date for the whole education or just for your course?
For your whole education. So you should estimate that when are you graduating? So roughly 3 years, 3.5 years from now.
Okay.
Okay, I will now stop also the recording, and then we will create the breakout rooms.